All right, we're going to do a quick website review of Blackland, Fort Worth. I'm super excited to do this for you. We're going to look at the homepage, maybe even some of the sub pages. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some things that you can do, some small tweaks even to your current website that will help you gain more customers. All right, so I'm actually going to just start with talking about content and placement of that content. What are you communicating with the website? Not so much the design necessarily, although design is super important. We want to make sure you maintain brand, but we want to talk about what you're saying. Because here's the thing. When people see your website, they're not just going to buy based off the design of your website. They're going to buy based off what you're saying you provide them. What problem do you solve? What aspirational identity that they want you can help them fulfill? What are they going to become by being a customer of Blackland? So we're just going to dive right in. I've not looked at your website, so this is new to me as I go through it. So bear with me if there's some moments where I'm going through and just talking about it without having seen it yet. Okay. All right. We'll dive right in. First of all, I do actually love your logo. It's beautiful. Blackland, Fort Worth, the grain right in the middle, super modern, really nice. I love that. Okay. And it also works as a nice stamp, right? Like a watermark type stamp that you can use all over the place. So again, not talking about design. The logo doesn't actually do, it doesn't say what you do, which is not a bad thing. It's okay. A lot of companies don't, you might have like air conditioning companies that say Smith's Air Conditioning, right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. But it's okay if you don't have that. Blackland Fort Worth is a beautiful brand. However, it doesn't say what you're going to say. So what's going to happen is your website visitor is going to look at the other links and pages that are right next to that logo in order to understand what you do. So tours and tastings, you and I understand that. People who enjoy a good beverage are going to probably understand what that is. But we have to assume most do not. That doesn't mean you need to change this. Just start thinking through that lens. Products, everybody understands what that is. If I want to, you can say products, you can say store, you can say, what we provide, whatever, but people get that. Distillery, again, don't know what's going to happen if I click that button. I know what that is, you know what that is, but we have to assume most do not. So you can say something like location or whatever. But that's a messaging thing that we can talk through. The About page, everybody knows what the About page is. And then over here on the right side, you have Tasting Room, and then you have Contact, right? Tasting Room, I don't know what's going to happen if I click that button. Sort of sounds like that Tours and Tastings link. But, you and I understand that. I've gone and have visited and taken a tour of distilleries and enjoyed great beverages, right? So you and I get that. But we have to assume most don't. Contact, everyone will understand that. So far in this black bar at the very top, it's not clear what you do. It's not clear what you do. So what's going to happen is we're going to look straight down here. That's what's going to happen the next thing. Now, there's two parts in this section here that I want to point out. First of all, is the image in the background. Okay, so the image in the background of the grain. You and I understand that the grain is what's, primary ingredient in the beverages you make. But most may not, right? And this is a prime opportunity to help your website visitors, your customers, picture themselves drinking the beverages you make, right? It's a great, so think about, if you wanted to target, the guys who are at the cigar lounge smoking a cigar and drinking a good whiskey, right? That kind of environment. Or if it's like, they're at a party, very luxurious party, and someone's pouring a drink, or there's a bartender, or there's something that I can visualize myself enjoying the drinks you make, right? So that's prime opportunity. And this image is huge, so it's a great spot for that. And then you have the name of your company, Blackland. That doesn't, for a customer standpoint, doesn't tell me anything. I would replace that statement with I would replace that word with a clear statement of what you do, or a statement that also can help me, picture myself. So think about it this way. I am, wanting to have the best party for my best friend, like he's turning 40 or he's turning 50 or something big, right? I want to have a good party that's just very vintage gentleman-like, cigar bar type thing with good drinks and, great music and laughing, or, whatever. Um, because I want that, I kind of want to, as an aspirational identity, I want to be a good friend, right? Or I want to enjoy the experiences with the people that matter the most to me. I would say that right here, even that statement, enjoy the experiences with the people that matter the most to you. And then underneath it, we distill or we make, and you be clear with what you do. That way, within the first 30 seconds of them visiting this top part of your website, they already know what you do. And then I'll talk about how they can contact you. Okay, so that's just in this very top part right here. Let's scroll down a little bit further. You have this statement here, unquestionably classic, distinctively original. This is, okay, so there's a lot of words that I have to process in my mind. I would just remove that. Based on what I said a minute ago about the statement that you could make, I would remove this. This doesn't really help me it doesn't make me create an experience that I'm going to enjoy with the friends that matter the most to me. This just tells me more about you. And here's the thing. What you do is super important, right? It's great that you provide what you provide, but most of everyone, they're not coming to you because they care about what you do. They're coming to you because they care about what they're trying to accomplish. Once they know you can help them accomplish their goal, then they care about you. So I would remove that statement there. Right here below, you have your social media icons. That's fantastic. We can do a social media review another time, but there isn't any more information down here. I would consider putting something down here at the bottom. If you have Instagram, right, and I don't know how well you upkeep that. I haven't looked at that yet either, but put the images here too. That's a great visual. If you get a lot of people who take pictures of themselves enjoying your drinks, then put that out there, right? Have people see what other people are doing with your product. Okay, so I'm actually going to share with you a couple of things I think we need to do. I already shared one of those. I think what we need to do is we need to change the image that's here in the background and change this text right here. I don't think you need to change anything in the header. I mean, there's some things that we could do to improve it. I mean, kind of think most people read left to right, top to bottom. So personal preference, I would rather move your logo over to the left and move all these links over to the right side of the page, or even take all those links and put it in what's called a hamburger menu. Kind of hides it. It's like a slide out menu instead of it being all displayed. But one thing I will tell you that's going to be super important that you need to have is you need to have a primary call to action. This is a button to click that says do this thing, right? Looks like, based off of your links, that you have tours and tastings and tasting room. Sounds like you want people to come visit you, visit the distillery, take a tour, enjoy some samples, that kind of thing. So I would have, if that's your main call to action, a button here that says plan your visit or schedule a tour, right? So you can do that, or whatever it is you want, but you have to determine what that main call to action is and be clear with it. If it's, buy product, visit the store, take a tour, any of that, make sure it's super clear, and you need to have that up front right there as well, okay? And we can help you clarify that message and figure out what to say and what words to use in that, but that button at the top is your bread and butter. That's the thing that's going to drive sales. So make sure you have that there. Also, underneath that statement I told you need to have in the center, have that primary call to action again. It's okay to remind people to do it again, and also have what's called a transitional call to action button. This is optional. Transitional calls to action are things you could do in the meantime. Maybe they're not ready to schedule a tour. Maybe they're not ready to taste. Maybe they're not ready to do anything else. Let's create a button that gives them some value while they're waiting. So that could be a PDF download. That could be a video you want them to watch. But the trick about a transitional call to action is you need to get their information. First name, last name, email address at minimum, okay? Here's why. Because what's going to happen is you're going to give them something that adds value to their life, helps them picture themselves enjoying the beverages you make. but it's also going to give you a way you can contact them and start saying, hey, we'd love to schedule a tour of our distillery. When would be a great time to see you and your friends out here, right? And you can start working from a sales standpoint off of that information you get. So make sure that transitional call to action gives you some information. All right, let's real quickly take a look at, let's take a tour of your website. No pun intended. No, I did intend that pun. Okay, so tours and tastings. Let's look at that. So this is like an events page. I would remove this unless you have more than just one. If you have more than one, you can do that. Maybe if you do tours and tastings and they happen once or twice a month at the same time, then I would just say that on the homepage, right? So don't take a whole page just to have one event. This isn't really going to help. Have this on the homepage, like in the homepage, maybe somewhere down here, have a section where you're listing all the different events. Maybe have 3 of the top events that you do outside of tours and tastings. So let's say it's a tour and tasting and also a concert or some sort of event that you're a part of, right? Have those listed on the homepage. Now, the details of this, here's the cool thing. The details of this, you can have that on there. I would almost reduce the amount of content in the description of the tours and tastings. Get them to contact you, right? So instead of having, please call the distillery and book your spot, instead of having that, like remove that. I would say even remove all of the costs. Okay, I'll remove that. And then say, have a button underneath it. If you can, have a button that says, the same thing that main call to action button at the top will say, book your tour, right? Or schedule your tour, whatever it is. And then they give you their name and email, right? So now you have their name and email. You're not waiting on them to send it to you. They click it and they give it to you. Then you can respond to them. And if they don't show up, now you have name and email of someone that you can contact. So I would do that. But again, only do that on its own page if you have, only list events like this if you have more than one. This is kind of a waste of real estate for just one event. That button that I told you about that can go below the description here can literally take them to the same place as your main call to action. So you're not creating a whole new page with a form. You're just saying, go to that place, do that thing. Because remember, we want to draw everyone to that main call to action. We want everybody to do that thing. That's your moneymaker. That's your sales driver. Okay. All right. So let's go on to the products page. Let's look at that. Products page, Blackland's partner exclusively text malt, the footwear. So, okay. Again, content right there on the top. Let's talk more about what that benefits me with, right? We believe that you deserve to have the best drink in the city. Because of that, we've partnered with Tex Malta Fort Worth to find, to source locally grown, unique Texas grain, right? You're using the same content, but what you're doing is you're flipping it. You're saying, because you deserve the best, we have found the best, right? So I would change that content. Great image, by the way. I love that. And on a product page, this is really nice. You want to have pictures of what they're going to get. You could have pictures of someone holding that bottle, right? Someone sitting down by a fire or someone enjoying some time with friends. But this is great because it's product. It doesn't have to be so specific. It's picture and description of it. And these are great pictures, by the way. Let's see. I might have to come and take a tour of the distillery. This is great. Okay. Other than that, I think this is great. But what do you want them to do on this product page? Can they buy this and have it shipped to them? Are there stores they can go find this in, right? So a lot of times maybe you can't ship to other states or even within Texas, but they are distributed into stores like, Total Wine and More or Costco or something like that, right? So you're able to go and purchase them. So this doesn't really give me anything to do as a customer on this products page. So what I would do is tell them what to do. If you want them to tour your facility, again, have a call to action, something like, book your tour, right? When they click that button, it takes them to the book to tour page. And then you can say something on here like, do you want to enjoy, you know, you want to taste these, or you want to go for a tasting or something like that? Because now I understand what I'm doing when I book a tour. I'm going to taste these, okay? All right, so let's look at the distillery page. I don't think you need to have this page at all. I think you need to have a location page where it helps people find where they need to go if they were going to do a tour with you. But most of the time, if they schedule that tour, if they have to schedule it with you, then you're going to tell them that. You're going to send them information on how to get there, you know, all of that. This doesn't really matter to me, the customer, because I just want to know that it tastes good, right? I want to know that I can enjoy the time with my friends and family because of this drink. So this is great information though when I am touring the facility. So don't give away the information until you're at the tour. Leave a little bit, you know, make them wonder what it's like in the distillery. It's kind of cool. I've done a distillery tour as well, and they're really fun to walk through and visually see it and have it explained to me. I'm probably not going to read it on a website. So unless I'm like a connoisseur or some sort of really big enthusiast, which most people are not. Most people are just going to focus on the taste of it and the experience they get because of the taste and being with their friends. All right, so about, all right. This is fine. I think about pages are great. I think what we need to do on about pages is, again, flip the content to be more focused on the customer. For instance, Marcus, the information there, it says attorney, culinary school, graduate. Okay, so right here, I would say the reason why you've spent 20 years or the reason why you've spent time and went to school is because you know how important it is for them to have what they need. Ooh, this is a beautiful picture, by the way. I love that. It's really nice. Okay, but again, we can help you with the content. About pages are fine. I don't think that's something that is going to help drive sales. Again, they will care more about you until after they know that you can solve their problem or get them what they're getting. So let's go to the tasting room page. Full service lounge bar and tasting room office roasting. Okay, this is great. Okay, so you have actual times people can come and enjoy. I assume this is outside of a tour of the distillery. This is just if I want to come and relax, which is really nice. I really like that a lot. This imagery is beautiful. Very, very beautiful imagery. I just don't know what you want me to do with this. Okay, so it's got a menu. Okay, cool. Great. You know, this is good information, but I think this could be set aside somewhere. Again, all of this information you have is good. It's just not drawing sales, not drawing people to come to your location. It sounds like your tours and tastings are really where you want people to go. But again, helping you clarify what direction you want to take is very important. We can help you with that, so let us know. Otherwise, I hope this helped you kind of get an overview of some things we can change or maybe improve. You can improve directly on here. I think what you have from a brand and design perspective is super nice. It looks like you're using Squarespace as well, so great platform. Great. If you have any questions or need anything else, feel free to reach out. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.